Hey guys, it's Urban, aka Phantom 4Runner on IG. Today I will be installing the Goose Gear rear base plate system on my 2023 5th Gen 4Runner Off-Road Premium. This video will be part one of a two-part video series where in the next video I'll be installing the side-by-side module with a fitted top plate. Before starting, I'd like to give a quick special shout out to Backwoods Overland. They have an install video going over this same exact procedure that we're going through with today. So if you haven't watched that, I highly recommend checking that out as well. And with that, let's get started. All you really need is a 4mm hex key, a pry tool, 10mm socket and an extension, and obviously a ratchet. All right, this stuff here is completely optional, so don't think that you need it for the install. I will be installing some sound deadening, and for that I need a knife to cut the sound deadening material, rollers to press it in, and I have two different rollers for that, a cleaning cloth, 70% alcohol, a little bit of anti-seize for the hardware, and some, I don't know how do you pronounce it, Noiko sound deadening mats. Everything will be included in the link below. All right, so first we'll start this install off by removing the long plastic trim piece. And for this, all you really need is a pry tool and give it some good manpower and it should come right off. All right, so once we've removed that plastic cover piece, then we're gonna remove all four of these D-hook rings right here. Should just go underneath here and pop. Once you've removed all four bolts, then you can just pop this sucker off. Give it a good pull. You're gonna want to remove these two bolts right here. Again, they're still 10mm, 1 and 2, and then we're gonna take this little guy off. We're gonna do that 2 times. That's it. Now we can work on removing the carpet. What you want to do is pull them apart and then pull out. There we go. All right, now in this next step, you can fully remove the carpet and the foam base layer underneath. You'll then want to clean the surface. I'm choosing to simply vacuum and wipe down with 70% alcohol. All right, so these are the Noiko mats, and unfortunately it's not one big sheet. They're all just individual cutouts. All right, so for that little piece right there, I just went ahead and cut a little chunk out. Does not have to be perfect. All right, so next you got to roll down the sound deadener, and that's what I'll be doing. All right, so next we will reinstall the carpet. I'm gonna stop right there because this is me in the future, and after I installed this, you will see that there is a little bit of a gap when you install the carpet. So I'm actually gonna remove it. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. As you can tell, there is a tiny, tiny little gap between the base plate and the plastic trim piece. I don't like it, so I am choosing to remove the carpet. Right, next you'll want to reinstall the long plastic trim piece. Simply press down firmly to pop the clips back into place. Next we'll put in our brackets. P for passenger, D for driver. We're gonna go ahead and do the passenger side. First you want to grab the bracket. The bigger hole goes underneath here, the plastic trim piece, and just make sure that the notches here are facing downwards, just like this. Then you can go ahead and grab the smallest hex bolt, feed that through the OEM D-ring. All right, I don't want it so tight where I can't adjust it, so I think that's good. Next, just go ahead and follow the same steps on the driver's side. All right. Now we can finally install the base plate. I also did want to mention one of these, the medium size hex bolts, these guys right here, they actually get a 4.5 millimeter hex key. All right, now for this step, I'm gonna get my bolts ready. And since I already messed up the first time, they still have a little bit of anti-seize on them. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm just gonna apply another thin layer on the bolts just to help them from sticking in the future. So let's get these loosely fitted. Now I am in the middle row seats. So what I did, I just grabbed my phone, I turn on the light, and it makes it a little bit easier to kind of see where you're threading these bolts into. So if you guys are wondering if we still need to reuse these for anything, they're the little brackets that we removed. No, we don't need to use them. All right, and we are almost done with this install. The last step is to double check the base plate, making sure it is aligned properly. Then tighten everything down while making sure you're not over torquing the bolts. All right, so that concludes today's install of the Goose Gear rear base plate system. And overall, it's a very simple installation. It might take you maybe 2 hours, maybe 2.5 tops if you're installing sound deadening. Definitely took me longer because I went and I installed the carpet, and then later to realize I didn't like that little gap in between the plastic trim piece here and the base plate. So I had to go back and remove the carpet, which added additional time. But now you guys can see both what it looks like with carpet and what it looks like without carpet installation. And of course, sound deadening. Overall, I think the product looks absolutely phenomenal. The fit, the finish, the quality. Goose Gear really does a great job of building high quality products, and I'm 100% satisfied. I love the system. It looks great. And I'm super excited to install the side-by-side module with the fitted top plate next. So yeah, stay tuned for that, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks.